Hey everyone, I'm Alex. Welcome back to another video. In this video, we have a simple visual metaphor to illustrate the difference between the dual and the non-dual views of the world. This is duality. This is the mainstream view of the world and the most common way that people conceptualize themselves and their relationship to the world. In the dualistic view, you have yourself and then you have the world. You have yourself and you conceptualize yourself to be a separate, limited individual, and then you have the rest of the universe, which contains the world and other people or objects or things. And there's an imagined separation between you and other people, objects or other things. All of these things are out there, distinct from you, separate from you. This is you. This is the world. This is subjectivity. This is objectivity. This is mind. This is matter. Duality. In this view, you are in conflict with the world. You are subject to the world. Because you're apparently separate, you're not at peace, you're not whole, and you're not connected or complete because you're not everything. You're apparently a separate, limited individual who feels like you need to get something from the world or achieve something in the world to become whole and complete. But this search, notice, this seeking will never come to an end because there's always more. Because you believe yourself to be fundamentally separate, you can never truly make yourself whole because you're always apparently a limited fragment of the universe. It doesn't matter how many achievements, accolades, relationships, experiences, or material things that you add onto yourself, there'll always be more. So you'll always experience this sense of not enough and this perpetual sense of dissatisfaction, lack, and incompleteness. In the non-dual view of the world, this duality, this separation between you and the world, between you and everything else, is revealed to be a complete illusion. With non-duality, there is the revelation that everything is one. But actually, to be more accurate, it's not even one. It's beyond concepts of zero or one. Non-duality means not two. And what that's saying is that reality is a single indivisible whole, a single indivisible whole of aware experiencing. Everything is contained within you. Everything is an appearance of you. There is no separation between you and the world, between you and other people, objects or things. Reality appears as this single indivisible field of awareness in which, or more accurately, as which everything appears. Another way to see this is that this is what you already experience when you dream. When you're asleep in a dream and you don't realize you're dreaming, you believe in duality. You believe that you're a separate, limited individual who's in a dream world, and you believe that the dream world and the objects in the dream and the other dream characters are out there in the dream world, distinct and separate from you. But when you wake up from the dream, or you go lucid in the dream, you realize, hang on a minute, this isn't a separate dream world out there that I'm perceiving. This is actually all my dream. This is my consciousness appearing to itself. All of these other objects, buildings, trees, and other dream characters are actually me. They might appear to be separate, they might appear to be out there, but actually they all appear within me. I am the whole dream. I am everything. If I hurt another character in the dream, it's just me hurting part of myself. If I'm a victim to something that's happening in the dream, or I appear to be dreaming a nightmare, it's not ultimately real. It's my dream, my creation, and ultimately, I can dream any dream. What non-duality is saying is that this is what's happening right now. This reality is exactly the same. It just seems more solid. It just seems more real. But in reality, it's the one consciousness appearing to itself. In the dream, other dream characters, as in people and animals, do have their own subjective experience too. There is apparent individuality and apparent separate experiences, but in reality, we're the same one consciousness, dreaming the dream from different perspectives, all at the same time. You already are whole because you already are everything. You are the dream and the dream characters, and nothing needs to be added on to you for you to be whole and complete. The dream stops being something that you need to arrange in a certain way to be satisfied, and instead turns into a celebration of the fact that you're dreaming, and a game about all of the wonderful things that you can do in the dream. A lot of people think that what we call non-dual realization, otherwise known as awakening or enlightenment, is some special state of consciousness that you have to do something to achieve. And it is true that certain processes appear to lead to awakening. Maybe someone meditates, takes a psychedelic, or does self-inquiry, or goes to a radical non-duality Zoom meeting, and there appears to be this falling away of this illusion as a result. And so I'm not saying don't do these things, but with non-duality, ultimately, there is the revelation that all of these processes can just have you spinning in circles, and they can just end up in more seeking to try and find what's already here. It's not that these processes aren't relatively useful, but once you get the message, you can hang up the phone. Because when there is true awakening, it is seen that ultimately no process or practice can lead to this, because this is already the case. More meditation, psychedelics, self-inquiry, or more listening to non-duality speakers hoping to get something can turn into something that simply perpetuates the illusion. I'm not saying don't do those things. They can be amazing for personal growth, or deepening your understanding on the level of the mind, or changing the way that you think and feel. But don't let them turn into something that never-endingly suggests that there's always something more that you need to do to realize you're already whole, to realize this. There is no special state of consciousness that's happening here that isn't happening there. There is no special knowledge that I have over here that you don't already have. The only difference is that you might claim that there is. It would be like we're those dream characters in the dream, and I'm saying to you, look, we're all one mind, one consciousness, one dreamer dreaming this whole weird dream together. Isn't it amazing? And you're saying, but it doesn't seem that way, and it doesn't feel that way. It feels real, and I feel that I'm separate, and I'm going to be dissatisfied until I achieve this special state that you have. But notice that it wouldn't make it true. It would simply be a belief. Notice that in the dream analogy, it's already the case that it's a dream. When you wake up from the dream, or you go lucid in the dream, you didn't have to achieve some special new knowledge or state of consciousness that you didn't already have. You simply remembered that you're dreaming. The dream didn't change into some special dream that's different from any other dream, really. You just remembered what it actually is. You saw reality for what it actually is, and that changed everything. You see the screen and you realized it's a movie, instead of thinking you're the character in the movie. And you see that the movie isn't inside the screen. There is nothing to the movie other than the screen. It's all the screen appearing to itself. And there's nothing that you have to do to achieve to become whole and complete, because you already are the whole thing anyway. Now you realize you're the dreamer. Instead of thinking that you're completely subject to the dream and a victim of the dream, you can start to change your mind about what this weird dream is. And if you don't like the dream, you can start to imagine something different. you begin to completely change your relationship to the world and other people, because you realize that it's all you. It's all your own consciousness pushed out. Instead of thinking that you have to try and manipulate the world and other people to get something out of it, and that everything and everyone is separate from you, you start to see that correlation between what's on your apparent inside and what's happening on the apparent outside, between what you imagine, think, feel, and believe, and what happens. You start to see that they're one. As above, so below. You start to see that the dream appears how you believe it to be. If you believe yourself to be separate from it and separate from other people, it starts to appear that way. It feels like everything is just happening to you. If you see that it's all your dream, it starts to appear that way, and everything becomes more dreamlike with synchronicities and serendipities. Now you're lucid in the dream, and you realize that this consciousness that you are can appear as anything and can appear as any dream.